If you have a business, it's important to really learn how to buy a car, how to acquire assets in your business name, because protecting your credit, your personal credit, is going to help you big time. So you want to beef up your business credit. You want to really acquire assets while actually paying interest. That way you can save money. So in today's conversation, I want to share with you how to buy a car in your business name. Okay. So here are the steps I want you to pay attention to. The first thing you want to do here is to think about establishing a business credit history. The thing is, if you want your business credit to actually help you in terms of acquiring a car, you have to have the business credit history in the first place. Okay, so ensure that your business is actually a separate business entity. So if you have an LLC, an S corporation, a C corporation, make sure you're able to segregate your affairs, your personal affairs, from the business affairs. Okay, that way you are able to really explain to authorities, but also to the lenders or credit card companies that you do run indeed a business. Make sure that you also have an EIN. So if you are trying to buy a car in your business name this year, you want to have an EIN, because otherwise you can't really buy the car in under your business. You got to have a social, and the EIN is actually the social for your business. So you also want to open a bank account, business bank account, and obtain a DUNS number from Dun and Bradstreet. So those are the four steps you want to follow to actually build business credit. Okay. And one thing I want to say here is that if you, it's just a lot easier to go for an institution where you already have a relationship. So if you have a relationship with a credit union or with a bank, let's say you have a personal account, a savings account, or a credit card with them, you already have that relationship. So what you want to do is you want to leverage that relationship to actually get more, so you can get a better credit card, or you can also build credit history that way. Just make sure the credit union or the bank will report your data, your credit card payments to the credit bureau. So with business credit, you're now talking about TransUnion. You are actually talking about a Equifax business, Experian business, but also Dun and Bradstreet. So Dun and Bradstreet is the number one credit bureau for businesses. So that's why you wanna have a DUNS number in the first place. And the credit score here is called the PAYDES score. If you want to buy a car in your business name this year, after establishing a business credit history, now establishing a business credit history is actually a gradual process. You do not actually establish a business credit score right away. It takes time, maybe 3 months, maybe 4 months, maybe 6 months. Okay, so you want to build the business credit. So what I'm talking about here is that you want to really pay attention to something called net 30 account. So it can be net 45, it can be net 60, and if you're lucky, you can have a net 90 accounts. So we are speaking about you having trade lines with suppliers. Okay, so a net 30 account is actually called a trade line with a supplier. So you want to build business credit by having that. Now, having a net 30 account is a lot easier than, let's say, having a business credit card, for instance. So that's the first thing you want to do. You want to get that net 30. It can be two, three, five. It can be five business lines. Whatever you have, just make sure you make payments on time. This is going to help you big time actually establish business credit. So you want to really pay on time. For instance, if you take the PAYDES score, probably 50 to 60% of the score itself comes from your ability to make payments on time. So your payment history. That's why it is quite essential that if you, whether you have a credit, whether you have a business credit card or you have a trade line, make sure that you are really abiding by the conditions, terms and conditions. Okay, especially if you are lucky that you have a supplier giving you a trade credit, you do not want to really f up. Okay, that's not going to help you big time. And you have to monitor your business credit reports. So the three that I just gave you. So your PAYDES score with Dun and Bradstreet, your Equifax credit score, but also your Experian credit score. You might have to pay the credit agency for that. For your personal credit, you don't have to really pay anything, but for your business credit score, you might have to pay somewhere from $20 all the way to $60. In some cases, you might have to pay like even $100 per month. Okay, but hey, the cool thing is that this is actually an investment. This is an investment in your business. So that's kind of cool. If you want to buy a car in your business name this year, after establishing a business credit history, building business credit, you want to research lenders and financing options. Okay. Of course, you want to buy a car in your business name. You want to make sure the lender that you go with, that lender is going to help you big time. It's going to help you actually increase your business credit score, but also accept that you buy the car in your business name. In other words, you use your EIN to actually acquire the assets. You do not use your credit your social security number to actually acquire the assets. Okay, this is a business credit card, so you want to make sure everything is actually under the business name. So here you want to research lenders, and you want to look for lenders that specialize in business vehicle financing and are willing to work with businesses without a personal guarantee. In other words, you do not want to have a PG. You want to really just put everything on the business name. Okay, you want to explore different financing options like loans, leases, or lines of credit. So if you're trying to buy a car in your business name, think about maybe getting a lease, for instance. You want to contact. The cool thing is that those lenders will let you know whether they want to work with you with it, and a lot of them are pretty cool working with your business credit because they know something were to happen, you do not make payments, they will seize the car, they will repo the car, right? So they know that they're covered because the title of the car is actually with the financial institution that financed the car in the first place. If you do not pay for the car cash, if you do not pay for the car using your own money, you are going to leave the title with the institution that's actually has financed the car for you, whether the credit union or whether it is a credit union or a bank. Okay, so the thing is that you have a lot of banks that will work with you if you are trying to buy a car in your business name. So you have a Wells Fargo, you have Bank of America, you have JP Morgan Chase, US Bank, and PNC Bank. So if you're looking for a large traditional bank, go for a JP Morgan Chase or Bank of America or even Wells Fargo. If you're looking for a tier two, mid-tier regional bank, then go with US Bank and PNC Bank. Just make sure that the bank is available in the region where you are at, in your state or city. Okay. You also have credit unions. So credit unions will also help you buy a car in your business name. And you have credit unions such as NFCU, Navy Federal Credit Union. You have State Employees Credit Union. They'll work with you. You have Alliance Credit Union. You have PenFed, and then you have America First Credit Union. You also have online lenders such as Ally Financial. You have On Deck. You have Cabbage. You have Lending Club, and then you have Fundbox. By the way, Cabbage is an American Express company. They were bought over during COVID, so right now they're owned by American Express. You also have captive finance companies such as Ford Credit, GM Financial, Toyota Financial Services. You have Honda Financial Services, and then you have yeah, those are the top four. Okay, top four. Now, if you want to really go a little further, you have to really ask what's available in your area. If you're trying to really buy a car in your business name, you might have to get a solid business plan. Now, you do not need a business plan to get a car if you are going for, let's say, anything below 50 grand. Okay, 50 grand. Companies are willing to work with you and really extend you the credit based on your business's credit. But now, if you want to go above that, if you are looking for a luxury car for your company or for one of your executives or one of whatever it is, just be ready to explain how the asset acquisition, the vehicle acquisition is going to help your business. That's why sometimes it helps to really have a solid business plan that explains that you do have vision, right? You're not really just getting a car just to show how fly you are. You have a vision behind that acquisition. Now, a well prepared business plan that demonstrates your company's financial stability and growth potential can help convince lenders that your business is actually a good investment, right? Because the whole thing is not just about giving you money to acquire the asset, to acquire the vehicle. It's about making sure that you are going to pay on time, but also you are going to make the lender money by paying the APR as well. So once you have found a suitable lender, you want to submit your application. Okay, again, the suitable lender, you have captive financing, you have banks, you have credit unions, and then you have online banks. So you want to submit your application. You want to provide all required documentation, including financial statements, tax returns, and your business plan. So you want to have your business plan also. So now remember that obtaining a vehicle loan or lease without a personal guarantee can be more difficult, particularly for small businesses, or let's say if your business has a limited credit history. Okay, if you have limited credit history, it might be a little complicated. But hey, good thing is that if you follow the those 4 steps that I gave you, you are increasing your chances of being approved. Okay, the four steps: establishing a business credit history, building business credit, researching lenders and financing options, and finally, preparing actually a solid business plan. Let me give you a few extras here. So, if you are looking to buy a car in your business name this year, it's important to really understand what you're getting yourself into and the potential benefits. So, what are the potential benefits of buying a car for business use this year? I mean, besides the obvious, right? The obvious is that you do not really pledge any personal guarantee. In other words, you're safe. If something were to happen, you're safe. But you have other advantages. You have potential tax advantages. So, potential tax benefits. You have the convenience. You have brand advertising. So, if you're trying to really advertise your brand, buying a car under your business name can be really cool. Okay. And so, when I speak about potential tax advantages, basically buying a car for a business for business use can potentially offer you the ability to deduct depreciation and qualified vehicle expenses. Here I'm speaking about vehicle maintenance also. So you can deduct all those expenses from your business income. You have the convenience. So buying a car for business use can offer convenience and flexibility for employees who actually need to travel to work. Okay. And when I speak about brand advertising, buying a car for a business can allow you to customize it and market your business. You can add visible information like your brand name, your domain name, your contact information, and also graphics. And to do what? Well, to raise awareness of your company. And one thing I want to say here is that don't forget the insurance part. Okay. If you're getting a car under your business name, you want to shop for insurance. So you will usually need to purchase car insurance before you can register the vehicle. So shopping around with different insurance companies and asking about coverage costs and requirements for your business car may actually help you find a rate that fits with your needs, fits with your business needs, if you will. If you're trying to buy a car in your business name this year, it's important to know the paperwork that really goes along with the whole process. So let me speak to you real fast about what documents you need to apply for a car loan as a business. You have your business license. You have the EIN. I already spoke about the EIN. You got to have the EIN. And the cool thing is the EIN, you can apply for it online or you can apply for it manually. When you apply for it manually, there's a form called SS4. Okay, that's the form you have to use to apply for your EIN, but it's free. Don't let nobody really tell you that you have to pay for stuff to actually acquire the EIN. No, you can do it yourself. You also have your business credit report, but you might have, in addition to your business plan, you might also have to provide financial statements, your company's financial statements. Okay, so if you are really like by financial statements, I'm speaking here about balance sheets, your business's balance sheets, your company's income statements, bank statements, and cash flow statements, so that the lender can have a broad view of your business's financial health. Remember, you are actually buying the car in your business name, so you don't have to really provide anything personally, but you have to provide everything that you need to provide in terms of the business. That way, the lender can tell whether or not this is a good investment for them. Okay. Now, when you are using your business car, you may want to keep detailed records of all vehicle related use and expenses. This is important because if you file your taxes, when you're filing your 1120s or 1120 or 1065, you will need to actually write off stuff. So here I'm speaking about costs like fuel, maintenance, insurance, and depreciation in your records. That way you can save money. If the car is also used for personal use, you may want to document those instances carefully and only deduct business related car expenses, because basically, if the IRS were to come after you, they really will penalize you big time. They really don't like that. So if you are, my advice to you is don't use the car for don't use the car personally. Use it for business only purposes. And if you have to use it for personal affairs, make it a very rare exception. Okay, that's something to think about. So let me talk about the tax benefits of having a company car. I think I've told you that you have a lot of stuff to actually account for, but what's really important here is that you have a mileage deduction, but you also have the expense deduction. So when you think about mileage deduction, you are basically able to claim the miles driven for business needs. And the cool thing is that in this year, for instance, the mileage deduction rate was about 67 cents per mile. Therefore, if you travel 10,000 miles in this year for business purposes in your company vehicle, you can actually deduct $6,700. That's a lot of cash. That's really good too. So it's actually a way for authorities to actually encourage that kind of acquisition. But please make sure you have the paperwork though, because I think as I said a few minutes ago, if something were to happen, if the IRS is really auditing you, if you don't have records, you're gonna pay big time. So first option, that's actually the mileage deduction. The second option is actually an expense deduction, where as a business, you can deduct expenses related to the business vehicle. So here I'm speaking about gas, repairs, and car loan interest. So it's either or. It's either you go with the mileage deduction or you go with the expense deduction. Think about what really works for you. But if you go with the expense deduction, you can deduct the total monthly lease payments if you lease a car used solely for a business. If the vehicle is not used 100% for business needs, you can deduct an amount proportionate actually to its business use. So be very careful. That again, I want to go back to that. You want to make sure that you are really following the rules, okay? And so you can purchase a used vehicle also under a business name. So it's not just about having a new car. You can buy a used car, not a problem. Okay, and obviously you can use your business car for personal purposes if you want to, but I do not advise you to do that. But if you were to do that, hey, listen, just make sure that you're extra careful with paperwork. You're extra careful with receipts. You're very careful in terms of if you were to be audited tomorrow, you have all the paperwork that the IRS wants to see to make sure that you are complying with the rules. Okay. So in conclusion to this conversation, I explained to you how to buy a car in your business name. I gave you the steps, the extras, and now the conclusion. Thank you so much. God bless you. I will speak to you another time. Until then, remember, stay marvelous.